Hello, and welcome to this week's Agape Leaders Monday Motivation. You know, when you go to work or you go to school, you don't always get to pick who you work with. Well, that's true at my school, but the Lord knows what He's doing. This week's guest is a co-worker of mine. His name is Mark Robinson, and Mark is an amazing man of God. He has gotten an opportunity to do some very special things, and I just reached out to him and said, hey, would you share a little bit with our kind of audience? And he said yes. And so here is Mark Robinson with this week's Agape Leaders Monday Motivation.
Hey everybody, my name is Mark Robinson. I'm a teacher at George Jenkins High School with Greg Mays, a very good friend of mine. I would not have survived the first couple of years without him. I am eternally in your debt, sir. With that said, I grew up in a Christian home. My father was Presbyterian, my mother was Catholic. I grew up in a Presbyterian church, First Presbyterian off of Lake Hollingsworth. He asked me to do this video today for some inspiration. And there's one verse that's always stuck out to me. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When I first heard this verse, I thought to myself, well, that's kind of selfish. Why, as a Christian, shouldn't I be out there to help others, to be there for others, to care for others, to build others up? And the answer to all that is yes. But we also need to keep up our own strength. And I found that more, as I aged, I found that to be more and more true. And I'm a very analytical person, so through my struggles, I've found myself questioning my faith. Like, why God? Why would God allow this to happen? And even I was a soldier in the U.S. Army for 6 years. I did a tour in Afghanistan, and I'm a history teacher. So, and granted, I wasn't at the time, but I've always been very analytical in the sense, well, is there such thing as a holy war? A holy war, that doesn't make sense. It goes against, our doctrine, so to speak. Thou shalt not kill. And particularly with the war on terror, we all kind of worship the same God. We're all Abrahamic faiths. We all stem from Father Abraham. He had many sons. And Islam built off of that, and then Christianity branched off of Judaism, and so on. So I've always found myself questioning these things, but I always find myself coming right back to I do believe in God. I do believe in the Trinity. And so today I want to talk about struggles. After high school, I feel like that's when the majority of our struggles truly begin. You go to college, you go to the military, everybody has a different walk of life, and that's fine. But our struggles could be something that we planned for. I wanted a 4-year degree. Well, I know I'm going to have to work hard for that. And it's a struggle that I'm putting myself into. And then there's the struggles we don't anticipate, like my father getting cancer. And I was in Afghanistan. I got home off the bus, and my parents assured me that the doctors are super happy with his progress. Everything's fine. And I get off the bus, and I see my mom and my grandfather standing there. I'm like, whoa, my grandpop's here? It's odd. He was never truly in my life, so that's why it was a shocker. And then I did a double take, and I said, no, that's my dad. Chemo and radiation had aged him 20 or 30 years. It was very shocking to see him in that manner. He was the strongest man I know. And over the years, even though the cancer is gone, his condition has continued to deteriorate. He's on a feeding tube. He barely has the energy for many things anymore, and strongest man I know. And sure, I'm biased, I'm his son, but to help back my claim up, strongest man I know, he went from having differences of opinion at a work, so he left, and then he became a manager at a rent-to-own furniture store. And through his 20 to 30 year career, I don't know the exact, I want to say 25, we'll say, 25-year career at this place, he worked himself up from being a manager of a store to the vice president of the company. Very hard worker, very determined, taught me the value, the meaning of hard work. And life has just not been kind to him. And another struggle I've had, here recently. I've had a newborn, February 2021, and she has food allergies, but not the kind where you break out and swell up in hives. It's something that's a little different, where she'll eat food and then she regurgitates it 4 to 5 hours later. But then her body's so small that she literally goes into shock. I have to run her to the hospital to get an IV to get fluids back into her. And it's very challenging, because every time I try new food, I'm on edge. Is she gonna be okay? Do I have to have a go bag ready to go to the hospital? And the struggles that we find ourselves with, I found myself sometimes just waking up and I'm like, God, sorry. I find myself saying, like, God, I can't keep this up. I'm just emotionally, physically, mentally exhausted. And then I do. I get up the next day and God gives me the strength. Sorry. All right, composure. I get up and I find the strength and I push through. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So when I first heard the verse, I thought it was selfish. And then come to find out, I can. I can continue on. I can push through. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Sorry, I'm emotional. But on that note, I've had the opportunity, the ability, the fortune, if you will, to I've had the opportunity to find myself in the Holy Land 3 different times in my life. I've seen Garden of Gethsemane. I've worshipped on a boat on the Sea of Galilee. I've had the opportunity to see baptisms, and this is a very moving experience, baptisms in the Jordan River, Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Calvary, so many things. So too many to name. Too many to name. Valley Megiddo, or Armageddon is going to take place. My tour guide said, "You're here," and I was like, "Oh, why are we standing here? Let's leave." I'm not ready yet, God. So I've had these great opportunities to travel to the Holy Land, and it is a rejuvenating, renewing experience. And if anybody has the opportunity, I highly recommend it. But these renewals in spirit are something that I find I need from time to time. Life just beats you down. The struggle, our daily grind, our daily struggles, and that one verse, just I can keep on keeping on. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So, anyways, I don't want this to be a crazy long video. So I thank you for hearing me out, and I do hope that you do remember that I truly believe it. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's definitely given me strength to continue on in my struggles in life. And I know that it always will. It'll always be here, and I'll always be, in debt to Him for the strength that He provides. So, thank you. Thank you for your time. You have a wonderful leader, Greg Mays. Very much look up to this man. And I really hope you got something out of this video. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. We really appreciate your time and just how much you love the Lord. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you on campus. Well, that's all we have for this week's Agape Leaders Monday Motivation. Until next time, you have a blessed week.